It was the cold December of 1964. In a high school in San Diego, a 17-year-old boy named Randy Gardner was preparing for an experiment so strange that most people wouldn't even imagine doing it. He wanted to find out how long a human can stay awake, alive, conscious, and functional, without sleeping. Science had no clear answer back then. His friends thought he had gone crazy. But inside Randy, a burning curiosity was pushing him to uncover this hidden truth. When news of the experiment reached Stanford University, one of the most respected sleep scientists of that era, Dr. William Dement, immediately traveled to San Diego. He was considered one of the best sleep researchers of his time, and his presence gave the entire experiment scientific importance. For the first 48 hours, Randy seemed perfectly fine, laughing, joking, staying active. But after the third night, dark circles formed under his eyes. His face became stiff, his speech slowed, and his brain began losing balance. This was the moment when the real suspense began. By the fourth day, Randy's mind started behaving in strange ways. Sometimes he would suddenly stop and stare into empty space, as if someone was standing right there. Once, he calmly told Dr. Dement that he could see a basketball court in front of him, even though the room was completely empty. There was fear in his eyes, fear of his own thoughts. His brain had begun mixing reality with imagination. By the fifth and sixth nights, Randy's senses started breaking down. His taste and smell almost disappeared. His balance was so disrupted that he could no longer walk in a straight line. But the most dangerous part was this. Randy knew he was hallucinating, yet he still believed what he saw. His brain had officially entered survival mode, distorting reality just to keep him awake. By the seventh night, Randy's memory was practically evaporating. Dr. Dement asked him a simple question. "Randy, what day is it today?" Randy just looked at him with a strange, empty smile. A smile with no meaning, almost like a silent cry for help. It felt as if he was slipping out of his own reality, falling into a dark tunnel with no way out. The 10th day was the most frightening. Randy touched the wall gently and said, "This feels like a tree." His brain was now mixing touch, imagination, and reality into one. Sometimes he laughed for no reason. Sometimes he went completely silent. Sometimes he spoke to things that weren't there. For the first time, the scientists were genuinely scared, afraid that Randy's mind might suffer permanent damage. The 11th night, the final and most intense phase of the experiment. Randy's brain was like an overheated processor, pushed far beyond its limits. Every second felt like a battle. Yet miraculously, he did not collapse. He stayed awake for 264 hours, 11 full days, without a single second of sleep. When they finally let him sleep, everyone in the room silently feared the same thing. What if he never wakes up again? But after 14 hours and 40 minutes of deep sleep, Randy slowly opened his eyes. And to everyone's shock, he was fine. Completely fine. No physical damage, no mental breakdown. Even today, science cannot fully explain how a 17-year-old survived so long without sleep and returned to normal within hours. This experiment remains one of the most shocking, suspense-filled, and unbelievable real events in the history of sleep science. Today, scientists believe that if someone attempted this experiment again, the experience would be very different. Back in 1964, Randy had no mobile phone, no music apps, no videos, no digital distractions, nothing to keep his mind stimulated. He spent hours in silence, boredom, and loneliness. And that isolation made his hallucinations and anxiety far more intense. Modern labs use controlled environments, constant monitoring, and mental stimulation, making sleep deprivation studies slightly easier to manage. But experts still warn, no one should ever attempt what Randy did. What he went through wasn't just an experiment. It was a dangerous journey to the very edge of the human mind, a limit that most people might never survive.